Welcome back to Jersey Matters. I'm Larry Menti. We are at the headquarters of the Department of Homeland Security for New Jersey, and I'm joined by the director, Christopher Rodriguez, and it's a wonderful facility here. The Department of Homeland Security was put together federally because there wasn't enough interaction, they believed, in the federal government between agencies. Is that why it exists locally, too?
Well, this office was stood up shortly after the events of 9/11. It was in a different iteration in 2002, but then evolved. And in 2006, the governor at the time signed an executive order essentially consolidating counterterrorism and emergency preparedness functions under this office.
Oh, and so it actually has a different function than other state law enforcement as well, which isn't necessarily at the federal level.
That's correct. That's correct.
Let me get to your three core missions.
Mm-hmm.
One is cybersecurity.
Yes.
Do you consider that the top threat to the country at this point?
Well, it is an evolving threat, and it's a growing threat. And we are fortunate that last year, Governor Christie, under his leadership, signed an executive order commissioning, establishing the New Jersey Cybersecurity Communications Integration Cell, which is the first operational information sharing platform of its kind in the nation at the state level. And so the NJKIC, as its acronym is, has been recognized as a national model for state-level cybersecurity. And essentially what it does is it brings in a host of cyber threat indicators into a central location at our Fusion Center, which is on State Police Headquarters. And NJKIC analysts, cyber intelligence analysts, look at that information that's coming in ones and zeros, and then analyzes it and puts it into nouns and verbs and pushes it back out to our members so that they have awareness of the cyber threats that we're seeing at the state level.
Is there redundancy in that at all, that there's a federal effort and then there is a local effort?
Well, the way we see it is that the state effort, the NJKIC, is bolstering federal efforts at cybersecurity. So we're pleased to say that there are 36 federal agencies that have signed up for the NJKIC's alerts. And so what it does is it gives the federal government a local flavor of what's hitting networks at the state level. And so we believe that by the federal government taking that intelligence and integrating it into its security architecture, it will become more resilient over time.
The second is counterterrorism, and we dealt a lot with that in the first segment. Is there something you want to add, is that being the second mission?
No, I think the biggest thing is the See Something, Say Something campaign. I can't emphasize that enough, that individuals, if they do see a suspicious activity, that they should report that to local law enforcement or to the state.
And at the core missions, number 3, and this one was interesting, what is resiliency?
Sure. So resiliency encompasses a variety of efforts. The first is infrastructure protection. So my office looks at a lot of the critical infrastructure assets that exist throughout the state. We make sure that not only are they physically protected, but increasingly with the NJKIC, we're trying to look at cyber resiliency across our infrastructure. And another part of that is training and exercise. So across the country, tragically, we've seen a lot of active shooter situations. And what we do is we go out there, work with local communities and schools to ensure that they're safe and secure through training and exercise. And then another piece of that is looking over the horizon at some issues that are going to be coming for us as a Homeland Security enterprise. We're looking at biosecurity, the concern about drones. And so those emerging issues, we have a team of people here who are writing policy memos and white papers that can inform decision makers like the governor when he's looking to make policy decisions about those Homeland Security issues.
You mentioned several arrests that were made in New Jersey when it came to cells that were here, and you're so close to New York where they've had horrible terrorist attacks and attempted attacks. Is New Jersey either a hotbed or a target for terrorism?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, not only put aside for a second the proximity to New York City, but we are the most densely populated state in the country. So we have a physical threat picture, but also our population density means that we're also very digitally dense. So a lot of our critical infrastructure supports New York City, for example, and other surrounding states. And so we see ourselves as a huge target for people, not whether in the physical space for terrorism or on the cyber front. that could come and do us harm.
Now, I'm correct in saying New Jersey has never been not just the target, but there's never been a successful terrorist attack here.
Well, from a foreign terrorist organization, that's correct, yes. As you know, that there were several plots that were uncovered, whether they be the Fort Dix 6 or the Al-Qaeda manual that referenced the Prudential Building in Newark as a potential target. So we certainly know that there are targets here, but in terms of Al-Qaeda or an ISIS-directed attack, that's correct.
I was backing into complimenting you and the job that the Homeland Security has done here, the fact that you have, you yourself has admitted this is a hotbed for terrorism,
well,
and
look,
there has not been. There's been several arrests, maybe more than anywhere else in the country.
Right, and look, and I think, again, that goes back to the partnerships not only with the FBI, but the state police here in New Jersey, and local and county officials as well. So as long as we're all talking, I think we're all going to be in a better place for that. So
Great.
we're very
Thank
fortunate.
You. It was a pleasure.
Thanks
nice
again,
to
Larry.
meet you.
Appreciate it.
Christopher Rodriguez is the Director of Homeland Security in New Jersey. Jersey Matters will continue in just a moment.